Jeez. All right. Welcome to the Tuesday night Principled Cairo broadcast.
Hooray.
From DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Reed Howie. And I'm joined by my co-MCs, Patrick, wake up, Patrick Moriarty and Emma Moriarty, who are both asleep. So, listen, what do you guys want to say to our audience at home and the millions watching around the world?
We love to eat. We love to eat.
That was right next to my ear right there. They heard that at home. Stop chewing, Patrick. Oh my gosh, this is going sideways. I'm going most solo after this. All right, but anyway, they love DE, and DE is coming. So 6 weeks out here from DE, guys. It is coming. There's our fall DE 2024, October 24th to the 27th, in beautiful, sunny Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. Awesome hotel. We're very excited to be there. We've got 4 days of amazing speakers, capped off by Saturday night, the 60th anniversary gala. Just like Diamonds, DE is forever. 6:30 p.m. Saturday, October 26th at the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. We've got all kinds of VIPs, chiropractic legends coming in for this gala to celebrate an incredible 60 years of DE celebrating dynamic essentials. We have ads still for sale. So if you're interested in putting an ad in the program, there you go. Full page ad, $650, very reasonable. Half page, $375, and business card. Pretty much anyone should do that. $133 for a business card. That's a no-brainer. Be a part of history. Everybody remembers the 50th anniversary. Now they're going to remember the 60th anniversary, and this is a way to be a part of it forever. Upcoming DEs. We have obviously the one in Atlanta at the end of October. Then January and April, we are in Clearwater. What do you want to say, Patrick?
Why is Clearwater named Clearwater when it's salt water?
I don't know. Go to lifede.com to get registered. So anyway, so exciting stuff, guys. If you have not gotten registered for DE, get your hotel, get registered, and get your gala tickets, okay? The gala is a separate ticket item, but it's going to be incredible, obviously, with dinner, a casino night. It's going to be awesome. You definitely don't want to miss that. So get your gala tickets now before they sell out. They will sell out. You don't want to come all the way to DE and not have a gala ticket. So thanks, Emma. Okay, great. Zoom out. There you go. All right, good. Okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, so for tonight's speaker, we got an awesome guy, 2002 graduate of Palmer Chiropractic, I believe in Iowa. So he's been doing this 22 years. Awesome speaker, spoken all over the place at DE as well. And I'm excited to hear him share. Big time philosophy guy. Really going to be a great talk tonight. So from Tupelo, Mississippi, let's give it up for Dr. Reed Howie. They call him Chiropractor Howie. Take it away, brother. Howie, we don't have visual on you or audio. How are you there? If not, I will stall for time here while waiting for Howie. How are you froze? If you can hear us. Okay, we'll go back to me and Patrick to stall for time while Howie gets his camera right. which I'm sure he will in a second. So,
1,000.
all right, back to the goofballs here. So, if you guys wanted to see more goofball action, here's the Moriarty kids. Both going to be at DE, so bring your kids and come hang out with us
At Kids DE.
at Kids DE. You coming to Kids DE, Emma?
Yes. Wherever.
Yeah. There, okay.
There we go.
Got Howie on there. All right, go to bed. Take it away, Howie.
All right, sorry about that. All right. I just want to start with a quote by Carl Jung. He said, "Look, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." Tonight, I'd like to look inside our profession so we can awaken to become the profession that we profess to be from the stages, seeing every man, woman, and child from birth to earth, for no other reason than vertebral subluxation is detrimental to the expression of life. At the last DE meeting, Matt McCoy did a presentation on stewardship. In his presentation, he stated that it would be a moral crime to do anything that would hinder or destroy our profession. Originally, I had planned on doing a different subject for my next DE talk. However, when Andy asked me at the last meeting to speak, this moral crime idea was stuck in my head. So that's the idea I'm going to go and explore with tonight, okay? Now, blame McCoy for this, okay? So anyways, let's just get started. Now, I feel that the acceptance of medical insurance reimbursement is a moral crime for a profession to participate in. I know this isn't going to be a popular thing to say, but as I stated earlier, we are going to look inside our profession to see what is holding us back from being the model of health that will change all of humanity, okay? Many times I get chiropractors asking why I make so many attacks on medical insurance inclusion. I used to say it was just because I wanted chiropractors to take care of people week after week, year after year, decade after decade, just like they do themselves in their own families. However, recently I come to see it a little bit different, I guess. I was part of a men's group, and one of the books we read was based off of Carl Jung's idea of facing the shadow self, breaking through the limiting beliefs that are holding us back. Now, the shadow self is the side of ourselves that we want to hide from others. It's kind of like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story. Now, Jung says assimilation of the shadow gives a man body, so to speak, thereby providing a launch pad for further individualization. Maybe medical insurance acceptance is the shadow side of our profession, and we never will get to every man, woman, and child if we don't face this all too real issue. Thinking down this path also led me to this idea of professional autonomy, which is described as having the authority to make decisions and the freedom to act in accordance with one's professional knowledge base. When I first came to this idea, I wasn't even sure that that was even a word, because I was thinking more along the lines of body autonomy. So, if we lose our body autonomy, we lose all of our freedoms, right? Because, if you don't have that, you don't have any freedoms, right? Now, by allowing another profession to dictate what our profession is by paying us, we lose our freedom. And I'm all about freedom. It's my second core value behind truth. Plus, if we allow the medical machine to model us by paying us to provide chiropractic as a treatment for a condition or complaint, which is what medical insurance pays for, it'd be much easier for them to move in and take over what we've done, because they do not pay for lifetime chiropractic care, just as we do for ourselves and our families. In fact, the majority of us didn't even understand that concept until chiropractic school, because the majority of the profession, unfortunately, works for medical insurance corporations. Now, here's an example of a story that one of my buddies had that kind of puts a lot of this into perspective, okay? He had a friend or a client that was moving away to a different town, and he wanted to find somebody, a chiropractor that was in his town that he was moving to, so that way they could continue to enjoy the regular chiropractic care that they've been educated on it and have been used to. So he's calling these different chiropractors, and this one chiropractor he reaches out to, he asks, hey, I have a client moving there. They want to get their spine checked weekly. What would that cost? And their reply was, well, it's all depend on procedures, number of areas, blah, blah, blah. All right. So he's like, okay, well, they want to get their spine checked for vertebral subluxation on a lifetime basis. How much will that cost? Well, it all depend on procedures, number of areas, same canned answer. All right. So he was like, all right, forget all that. Okay, here's what I want. This is how he asked, so are you married? And she's like, yes. Okay, great. So how often do you check your husband? Oh, at least once a week. Perfect. That's what I want. And how much will this cost? I mean, that's just about how crazy it is. I just don't understand it sometimes. But anyways, before before I get going any further, I just want to put get a little history from my point of view of how we got involved with medical insurance. All right. Well, it all started while we were suing the American Medical Association, the AMA, in the early 70s, and what's referred to as the Wilk versus the AMA case. Before I continue, I want to share a little history about the American Medical Association. It was founded in 1847 to control medicine in this country. I've heard that one of its objectives was to eliminate the homeopathic profession. And I don't know about you, but I don't know a whole lot of homeopaths have survived in today's world. So they did a pretty good job, right? Now, as early as 1906, they were jailing chiropractors for practicing medicine without a license. But that's another topic for another talk. Then they went ahead and copyrighted the diagnosis codes for medical procedures. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but they generate over $70 million a year just off of these copyrighted codes. Then they formed a committee on quackery, which was formed in 1963. Basically, it was a list of professions that they wanted to eliminate, as they called them quacks. And the chiropractic profession learned that they were on this list. And that's when a group of chiropractors came together and sued the American Medical Association for trying to contain and destroy the chiropractic profession. Now, during the 11 years it took us to beat the AMA in court, we were included in the medical insurance trap owned by who again? Oh, yeah, that's right, the American Medical Association. All right. Now, as a student, I remember hearing about the Mercedes 80s, basically where chiropractors could bill for whatever and get paid for whatever. Now, once the chiropractors took the bait, the powers that be, our new overlords, wanted us to provide diagnosis codes, medical procedures, and protocols before we could continue to be paid medical insurance money. So those out in practice convinced the chiropractic schools that they needed to be teaching this medical procedures so that the graduating students could continue to get paid medical money. When medicine was added to the chiropractic curriculum, what do you think was taken out of the chiropractic curriculum? That's right, chiropractic. Unfortunately, most of the profession sees the Wilk versus the AMA as a victory for our profession, when in actuality, it's why we're in the mess that we're in, and why the majority of the public doesn't understand what it is that we do as chiropractors. Now, have we been good stewards of chiropractic? Who thinks doing business with China is a good idea for America? Buying our drugs, our food, letting them buy or land in our country, even by our military institutes. If we consider them enemies, we shouldn't be fueling their economy. And if we consider the medical machine our enemies, maybe we shouldn't be fueling their economy through medical insurance. How can that ever benefit our profession? So what happens when they pull medical insurance from our profession? What if they don't just take medical insurance away, but they also send out audits to all those who participated? And those who participated now owe them hundreds of thousands of dollars on top of not getting paid by them anymore, okay? And I have one last question. What if you're the God of gods, all right? And, you heard this profession professing every man, woman, and child from birth to earth. You'd be like, dang, that's a good mission statement. I could get behind that. However, when you started doing a little bit of investigation and you started trying to, figure out what's going on, you notice that basically hardly anyone that's actually paying for chiropractic care are receiving the same care that the chiropractor and his own family receive week after week, year after year, decade after decade. So, as the God of gods, guess what you're not going to do? Every man, woman, child from birth to earth, right? I mean, they just make sense to me, all right? Now, I feel that the best approach to providing lifetime care to those coming into our practices is with membership style. When I graduated over 20 years ago, there was no such thing as a membership style practice. I was actually one of the pioneers of the model, and I had my challenges trying to implement it as a fee structure. However, over the years, I've perfected it and even come up with a way to calculate a fee system based off the annual median income of any community. The one industry that has made a huge impact with the membership model is the joint. Even though I can't hear any of you, I'm sure there were some grunts and moans at the mention of it, all right? Although, I'm not sure how any chiropractor couldn't get behind their mission statement, which is to improve quality of life through routine and affordable chiropractic care. The joint was originally founded in 1999 by a chiropractor with a vision to transform the traditional, often misunderstood concept of routine chiropractic care by making it more convenient, friendly, and affordable. Now, who couldn't get behind that mission statement and purpose, right? Well, over the years, I've made friends with students, and some of them worked at the Joint after graduation, so I've learned a little bit about what the Joint represents. For example, did you know that the majority of the Joint franchise owners are business people, not chiropractors? And to buy a franchise, it costs between $250,000 to $350,000. And most are located in high-end areas, like Whole Foods and things like that. Now, which obviously comes with high monthly overhead. And since the owners are not chiropractors, they have to hire 3 to 5 chiropractors to work their business. So a joint owner has a higher financial investment than most chiropractors do. Even after that, these business owners believe that they can make a living charging between $20 and $40 an adjustment. Ironically, the majority of the chiropractic profession, with no business sense, mind you, feel that they can't. Does anyone else see the fallacy in that thought process? In fact, the model of practice makes so much sense to the general public that the Joint saw over 13.5 million people last year, compared to the 35 million total that the profession saw. So the Joint saw about a third of the people who sought out chiropractic care last year. Now, there's a statistic in 2022, the profession generated $450 million in revenue compared to the Joint's earning of $100 million. Okay, now let's compare the number of chiropractors in each model. My guess is the $450 million represents the medical insurance chiropractors, which consists of about 70,000 chiropractors, compared to the Joint's 2,000 some chiropractors back in 2022. I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather take the revenue generated by the handful of chiropractors compared to the much larger numbers. All right. Now, I know when it comes to practice, you have a choice. I want you to consider what your practice would be like if you transition your practice to a membership model. Imagine if you transition your practice, would many of your hassles be eliminated without third-party payers? I'm curious, how many of you would enjoy practice life more if you were able to make all office decisions with a chiropractic mindset rather than with a medical mindset utilizing medical insurance procedures? How many would consider that freedom? All right. Now, which leads me to my last story before closing out. In the movie Tesla, which came out in 2022, granted, not a whole lot of people saw it. It wasn't that great a movie, but I did catch one thing in it. It was pretty interesting. So anyways, Ethan Hawke portrays Nikola Tesla. And JP Morgan's daughter becomes enamored with Tesla until she realizes that he has no financial or economic sense. So she lets him know that her father or no one else was going to fund him if they were not going to make huge profits from it. Because as you probably know, Tesla was wanting to give away energy for free. Well, when practicing chiropractic in its purity, the chiropractor is the only one making money, not some third-party insurance that pays for PT, foot baths, lasers, or some other treatment. Other than a table, face paper, office supplies, or x-rays, if you use them, that's all that's needed for the chiropractor practicing chiropractic in its purity. Medical insurance inclusion has enslaved the chiropractic profession as a pain management profession because the medical profession can only compete at that level. The medical machine has nothing for life enhancement because essentially that's what chiropractic is about. When practicing chiropractic in its purity, there's freedom. And seeing as no one is going to save chiropractic, it's got to be done on a grassroots level. Educating people on the value and importance of lifetime care and making it affordable and available so that they and their family can benefit. No one but us are going to save chiropractic and ultimately all of humanity. No one said that changing the world was going to be easy, but that's what we were charged with when we took on the role of a chiropractor. If a change is going to take place, it's up to us to be that change. You have the power to be part of that change. So get out there and start educating people on the importance of lifetime care. Make it affordable for the people walking into your office so they and their family can benefit, and make it convenient so people have the ability to utilize it on a lifetime basis, just as we do for ourselves and our families. And over time, you'll have a practice that the rest of the profession will envy because you're serving people just like you do yourself and your family, creating a sustainable practice that leads to practice freedom. That's all I got for y'all tonight.
Oh, boom! Chiropractor Howie dropping the mic. that last promo was a firework, and you definitely ended with an explosion, my man. That was an awesome talk, man, and what a
Thank
great
you.
I think that is a great message for any DE chiropractor about running their practice, which people could certainly use to hear. Freedom, there they go. A lot of good comments coming across the bottom there. So, chiropractor Howie, man, you killed it. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate y'all. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in a couple months, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No, actually, next month. Never mind. 6 weeks, right?
Yep. And thank you all for being on the Tuesday night Principal Chiro broadcast. Next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Don't miss it. Andy Harding will be your MC, so I'm sorry in advance for that. But, you can't win them all. So, all right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Howie. Great job, brother.
Thank you. Have a great evening.